You ever have that thing you really enjoy that you don't really want anyone else to know about because you don't want to deal with the outside world and their mundane opinions, and you just relax on any given day and enjoy that said thing? It could be food, a piece of entertainment, a little bit of clothing, something that no one else has to know about. It's just you and your hobby to yourself enjoying your life. Well, for me, it's the WNBA. And for years, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed an extra piece of entertainment in sports that allows me to place bets and win money off of a bunch of people shooting a ball into the hoop. And for years, I enjoyed that in absolute solitude. And you can imagine over the past 2 years, I have not been able to enjoy it. Why? Because without my consent, I've had to deal with people's opinions about the WNBA in regards to only two athletes, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And I'm not going to bore you all with history that none of you truly care about, because a lot of people don't watch the WNBA, no matter how much people want to bloviate about how Caitlin Clark has brought new viewers to it. It's still not turning enough of a profit to be worth a damn, so I'm not going to waste my time on that. What I will say is it's a new season of the WNBA, and there are going to be basketball games that people are going to attend and watch. And because of various moments that occurred last season, people had a certain game dotted on their calendars which featured Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. And the game went along quite smooth up until a foul that Angel Reese got mad at, and people complained that she got mad at a foul. She claimed that it was a hard hit. Caitlin said that it wasn't a hard hit. Anyone who knows basketball, that really wasn't a bad foul. That's a foul that many people in the NBA and the WNBA do, so she was just crying about nothing. And it led to back and forths, and at some point during the game, apparently from the eyes and ears of a bunch of people who clearly weren't there, there was a bunch of racial slurs and racial noises thrown out into the ether. And of course, it was this big controversy. People were asking Angel Reese about it. She gave her thoughts.
Obviously, there's no place in this league for that. I think the WNBA, our team and our organization has done a great job supporting me. I've had communication from everyone, from so many people across this league, and being able to support me and going through this whole process. Obviously, it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone, and I think they've done a great job supporting us in this.
How did it affect you Saturday, trying to do your job, trying to play, and having this going on simultaneously?
Yeah, obviously it's tough, but I think I have a great support system. I'm loved by so many people, and obviously in the moment it's hard to hear, but my support system is great. God has protected me in so many different ways. I've gone through so many different things in the past couple of years of my life, but I think just having this support and this love and being a part of an organization that really supports me and loves me is something that I couldn't imagine not being a part of.
What do you think the league's response, just coming out right away and getting that investigation going?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, they understand that this is the priority. Obviously, there's no place for this, and they preach. I think 2 days before they put out no hate, no speech. And obviously, the women in this league, they know that, and know there's no space for that. And I believe that every player in this league deserves to be treated with respect and want to come to work and just have fun and have a great environment to work at. So I think they've done a great job putting that out, and we're obviously just going to respond if they need to.
I think maybe Caitlin Clark gave her thoughts, and I believe everybody has the opinion together that somebody hurling slurs at anybody, even though in recent times you could maybe fall into a scenario where you get almost $1 million out of it, is pointless and dumb, and you look bad and stupid doing it, right? Cool. There's one problem though. This bloviated past the point to where the WNBA had to do an investigation to find out if they heard anybody hurling slurs, saying something inappropriate, and then they would take immediate action, much like every other sports league has done when a fan goes above and beyond with their passion and then they get banned from the arena, no longer able to go to games, you know, the whole 9 yards, because this is not a new thing. Well, the WNBA did an investigation and they found nothing. They found absolutely nothing. They put out a statement saying that they went through all the things necessary that they had over this course of time, things that are not new. If you've ever seen fan altercations or fans doing anything, there's always cameras everywhere documenting, seeing what you people are doing to make sure you're not doing anything that would get you in trouble. And they found absolutely nothing. And you would think, okay, we all made this about something. It turned out to be nothing. And now that they've conducted an investigation and gone about it to find absolutely nothing, we could say, all right, we all jumped the gun and we could move on to enjoying the WNBA and all the great hoops that we're gonna see, right? Of course the fuck not.
Is this thing on? The WNBA and everyone that runs it is full of shit. I repeat, the WNBA and everyone that runs it is full of shit. Full of shit. For all those that don't know what's going on, the WNBA launched an investigation last week after the Fever versus Sky game because there was a lot of talks about monkey sounds being spewed on the court. It was a lot of talks about racial slurs and just blatant racism at the game, which isn't shocking. So the WNBA launched an investigation. To be honest, I didn't think they were ever going to find anything. It's hard to find something tangible when you're launching an investigation days later. Like it wasn't in real time. So I just figured that they weren't going to find anything. Anyway, today they came out with a statement saying that they didn't find anything. And am I shocked? Absolutely not. Is it bullshit? Absolutely. Like, you can't tell me that it wasn't racist shit said last week in that arena. And look at this. I'm gonna prove it to y'all. Look at this.
Describe Angel Reese in one word.
Bitch.
Ghetto.
Bitch. Trash.
Garbage.
Mid.
Fearless.
The bricklayer.
That's 2 words.
An attitude. Rick Corby.
Ghetto.
So look, with the exception of the one guy who said, you don't want to know, because I feel like he was going to cross that line, none of these people said anything racist. They gave insults. They think the person's trash as a human being, but none of these things are racial. And for you to circumvent basic pointless insults as racial proves to me that you're grasping at any straw necessary under the sun. And none of these things happened in the arena, which means that it holds no weight to their investigation. Shit that happens outside of the arena really doesn't affect the arena. Unless somebody's going above and beyond and they got a jersey on and they go on a massive killing spree, that's not really going to be anything substantial to prove your point, especially when your evidence isn't really anything racial. That's basic sports fans giving baseless insults and being unathletic while giving their insults. The peak of all sports fans. I'm looking at you, Dallas Cowboy fans.
So y'all want me to believe that these fans were saying these microaggressive, like, racial terms to her outside of the arena, but when they went into the arena, they were just saints? Y'all think I'm that stupid? Y'all think we're that stupid that they were calling her a thug, a bitch? One guy literally said, y'all don't want to hear what I have to say about her. He quite literally looks like the N-word is used in his everyday vocabulary and vernacular. And y'all want me to believe that these same people were bold enough to be recorded and saying these things about someone they truly do not know. Never met this girl a day in their life. Calling her these stereotypical things that they call black people, thug. Y'all want me to believe that? Ghetto. Y'all really want me to believe that? They just went into the arena and became saints. Fuck out of here. The WNBA is full of shit, and they're only as strong as their leader, Kathy. Okay? And this is the same woman that went on national TV last year and was specifically asked about racism, and she said it is good for the league. The rivalry is good for the league. Okay, Kathy. Okay. But only when it's at the expense of people that look like me. Got you. Heard you. Heard you.
Because I live in a world where people are pining every single day to talk about how the racial society of something that doesn't even affect them because they're sitting at home talking into a phone or a camera or in their car talking to the steering wheel or the plushie that they got sitting next to them about how much their life sucks because of something that has nothing to do with them. A scenario where somebody is hurling slurs at someone else miles, states, countries away don't really affect the next common man. It affects the people in the moment to the point where they're going to do an investigation about it to see if anybody was doing something derogatory, and they find nothing, so that leads this be over. But to sit there and make this really weird juxtaposed claim about, oh well, of course they weren't gonna find anything, what a slap in the face to these people for giving a fuck in the first place, because they care about the safety of their athletes. They care about not having a place where they're supposed to be hooping be a place that's filled with a bunch of people hating. And And for motherfuckers to hear their outcome not get fulfilled because they were desperate to rub that clit down with a little bit of hate for the next man because they hate on them is embarrassing beyond biblical levels, because you got real racist shit going on in the world and motherfuckers don't want to touch that because it's too real for my waking soul. But when I wake up and see something that might be real, even though I'm basing it off of what I'm seeing on social media, oh, that means just a little bit more to me in the given moment, and it's fucking embarrassing. It's a conversation that warranted merit, just like every other time. Remember Bubba Wallace, race car smuggle nuts, and how he thought he saw a rope that was tied up as a noose? What did NASCAR do? They investigated, and you know what they found? Absolutely nothing. You remember when people dedicated time to find out information about a missing woman, and it turns out she was just under the sewers masturbating with Cheez-Its in her fucking hand? Absolutely nothing. And people wasted their time caring about something that turned out to be nothing. So might I get on my hands and knees just a little bit and beg you simple-minded motherfuckers who are begging for this outcome to, the next time you do this, because it won't be the last time, you shut up. You can actually, you know what? Don't shut up. Make your statement, and then as time goes on, you piece together information instead of just saying, this is racist, and here's the reason why. And if you combat me, you don't care about the struggle I deal with, because there's real struggle out there that exists. But you motherfuckers never want to bring that up because the more fanatical fake shit is seemingly more lucrative for you and your bottom line. And I would be honest, I spit at you because that fucking disgusts me.
Are we going to continue to act like Caitlin Clark is not racist? Her low budget way of saying how she denounces racism, it just has to go. I'm sorry. If I had that type of a fan base around me and I'm completely against it, I'm going to constantly say how there's no place for that in the league, and I'm going to be very loud and vocal about it. She barely says it. It seems like a PR stunt every single time. She does a little smirk whenever it's mentioned, and I don't like it. For her to have the fan base she has and the platform that she has, you think she would do a better job of denouncing racism. I don't care who don't like it.
I never spoke on her race or Angel Reese's race. I never said she was a bad basketball player. She's amazing. She's great. Wonderful. One of the best in the league right now. All I said was, if you do not agree with your fans using your name to spew hate and racism, say that. Come out and say that. Stop using my name to spew hate and racism towards any person of color, not just Angel Reese, any person of color.
Caitlin, when your head coach came out with a statement today saying she denounces all the racism that some people have felt in this league, players, trolls online, all those things, as one of the biggest stars in this league, what are your thoughts on the things not only your teammates have to endure, but just the entire league? And obviously, you spoke on this before, but just now that your coach and your GM are talking about it as well.
Yeah, it's definitely upsetting. I don't think nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats. Those aren't fans, those are trolls, and it's a real disservice to the people in our league, the organization, the WNBA. But there are a lot of really good fans, whether they've been fans for 20 plus years or whether they're new fans in our league. I think continuing to uplift this league in a very positive light is the best thing that we can do, because there are so many great players, there's so many great teams, there are so many positive storylines that can be written and celebrated. And for me, that's why I became a fan of this league, is these people were my idols. I grew up wanting to be like them. So I think continuing to uplift and represent this league in a positive way is the best thing that we can do.
This is clearly one of them scenarios where the only person I'm feeling bad for is Caitlin Clark, because this woman did the thing. She talked about, I believe in a press conference, her white privilege and how it could give her a leg up or something to that effect. And she got chewed out for that then. And to find out months later that motherfuckers are still running around calling her racist because she's not standing up on some big podium to say racism bad, as if that's somehow going to fucking defeat racism, is the most hilarious shit under the sun when you factor in she's already done the shit. But because these people people do not care. They just want a bitch for engagement. They're going to sit there and make it as if Caitlin Clark's silence is her violence. No, you children, your ignorance to what has already been said months before is violent to me and my working ears. I don't get how we all come to this understanding that racism bad, racist people bad, and we don't want to live in racist society, and we think we see something, and we're told through proper investigation that that said thing didn't happen, and you got motherfuckers sticking their nose in the air and saying, well, I don't care what you say, because this happened because I said it happened. You narcissistic pricks. That's not how the world works. It's not your oyster. It's a seashell. And we are all staring at that seashell as it carelessly moves through the flow of the water. And it's embarrassing how you motherfuckers keep trying to grab it and proclaim it to be yours, knowing full well it belongs to the sea. But that's all I got for this video. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you think it's good to just blatantly run around and saying something is racist even though it gets proven to you that it's not. Or are you someone that doesn't care at all because you're trying to enjoy the WNBA? Or are you someone in New York currently upset because it seems like the Knicks aren't going to the finals? And let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. I will see you all in the next one. Mwah! Goodbye.